Good morning, welcome to We Repair. So I'm having another drone day. I have got another eBay purchase that I thought I'd have a go at repairing and yeah, go from there really. As you can see, it needs more than a little bit of love. So yeah, I think given the amount of time it took me to repair the last one, I'll probably split this up into a couple of videos. Today I'm going to work on this front right arm and get that fixed. I haven't really done any research into how to do this and how to get it apart, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve as well. I've worked on plenty of the Mavic Pros, so I'm sure the Mavic Air 2 is not too bad. So let me grab some tools and we'll get shifting and see if we can get this fixed. Right, I've got some tools now, let's get going and get this undone. So, first thing we need to do is these ones. They look like a small Allen key style. I don't know what size it is. Unfortunately it doesn't say on my tool, otherwise I'd be able to give you an idea. Just get these 4 of them to start with. One thing you do need is a nice long shaft on your screwdriver, otherwise you're going to have a real hard time. Those ones are all the same size, so that makes life easier. We'll just work our way back. These two at the front are, I think they're T5 or T6. Pop these 2 plastic bits out if we can. Might need a pry tool. Let's just see if we can. There we go. Oh, there's 1. And there's 2, and then we'll just work our way back from here. Now a nice one to spot if you buy one of these second-hand and you're looking to try and see if it's been tampered with, there's a blob of glue in this screw. There always is. And it's DJI's, excuse me, God, my voice is going. It's DJI's way of marking a drone to make sure that they can see that it hasn't been tampered with when it comes back in for repair. So you'll need to get something pointy in there to get that out. I've got a pair of tweezers here that will do the job just nicely, so let's just do that. There we go. Cool. And yeah, I was right, there are 2 screws down the back there holding the top in, which look like they're the same as the other ones. My issue is I don't know if I've got anything small enough to get to them, so we'll come back to those in just a minute. Let's just grab a T6 and we'll just try these front ones. No, I think that's going to be a T5. Let's grab a T5 instead. Yeah, lovely. That is a T5 at the front there. Obviously, be careful of your gimbal if yours is fully intact, not, which mine obviously isn't, so I'm being less careful and a bit more heavy-handed. Cool. Right, so let me just have a look at these ones. Yeah, so those are the Allen key style ones that we need undoing. I'm going to have to try and figure out how I can get to them, because I haven't got a bit that is that long. So let me just pause a second and see if I can find something to undo those. Right, so after a bit of trial and error, I've managed to find an Allen key that is the right size to unscrew it, which is good. There we go, one out. And let's do the other one. Is it going to come? Oh, that one doesn't want to go. I don't want to force it though, because the last thing I want to do is get that screw stuck. Let me just whack a bit of screw grip on the end of this Allen key and see if that will free it. Hopefully, it'll do the job. No, let me see if I've got a bigger one. Ever so slightly. Right, so I'm unable to free that screw, so I think we're just going to press on and see how much we can get done, and hopefully wiggling a bit the chassis will free it. At least that's the hope, and if not, then I may be buying a new top chassis to get it free. Right, the next thing I need to do is get this front piece off. So I'm hoping that it's just going to be a question of slowly giving it a prod and see if we can get it moving. Oh, that piece has come away. So let's just, yeah, look. Oh, there we go. Done. So there we are, that's clipped on in several places. So that came off, no issue at all. And then let's just flip it back over and just see if we got any more screws. It looks like we have. So yeah, we got 2 screws, same as before. So we'll just get those undone. And I think that's it in the screw department, bar that one that we've got stuck. So let's just see how much this is going to come. And then once I get it released more or less all the way, I'm hoping that I'll get enough on that screw that I'll be able to help it come out. Make sure we're not stuck anywhere else. There's definitely no more screws holding anything in. Ah, yeah, right, there we are, there's clips there as well. Okay. Probably shouldn't have yanked that away quite as much. I've broken the plastic a little bit, but there we go. Doesn't matter too much. Cool, right, let's just have a quick glance at this and just make sure we can see how everything runs. So, the soldering looks easy enough, but we've got one cable that's disappearing off. So I've got my new arm here. Which, interestingly enough, looks like a front left because that's got a black cable. Yeah, that's the wrong arm. They've sent me a left instead of a right. How annoying. Okay, well that'll be going back. In the interim, let's try and assess where these cables are going. So I can see we've got, I don't know if you can see the black one on this side, loops over the top and then goes down, and then you lose it. So I wonder if it's clipped on the underside. Yeah, look, there it is. And there's our white. So I'm going to have to get that cable up through, which is going to be a real pig. So this white cable. So what we'll do, at least it's not as heavily glued in as the other Mavic. I think we can probably unclip all of these. And we can probably pull that white cable up. Yeah, okay, so it's not too bad. Just unclip it from the base again. Like that. I'm going to unclip the black as well, just so that we can get that through. We'll clip the black back in so that I'm not losing it. And we'll pull this one back up. If we can. So, well, that's going to be fun to get through that little hole. Okay, if we push it through there. Ah, cool, there we go, that's disconnected. Right, before I go any further, I'm going to just get this arm completely disconnected. So I'm making the assumption that this is the one thing we're going to have to undo. So let me just grab a cross-headed screwdriver and we will get that undone. Like that. And then I think if I lift this out, it'll come out. Hey. This should detach the arm. Oh, don't lose that screw. It's unlike me not putting it on my magnet. I was just trying to get in at the right angle to lever it upwards. There we go. Cool. And there's a little washer there as well, so we'll keep hold of that. So we turn this back over. Right. So it's just a posting game at this point. Right, I'll just get my soldering iron warmed up and then I will completely disconnect this arm and we'll go from there. Right, so my soldering iron is now all warmed up and ready to roll, so we'll just see if we can get this disconnected one cable at a time. I will do my best to show you, but this is going to be a little bit of a nightmare to try and show on camera while soldering. So I'm going to just disconnect the grey first. Okay, that's the grey one. Now we'll go with the yellow. And the black. And the blue. And finally the white. So that is all of our cables disconnected. I'll just pull this out of here now. That should just come through. And there we go. So that's our arm disconnected now. So what we'll do, we'll pause the video here. Being as I now have the wrong part, I'm going to have to order a new one. So I'm sure that this will just continue on in a few days' time and it will be just like nothing has ever happened for you guys. So it has literally been 6 months since I started this project. I finally have a new wing, and more importantly than that, I have a brand new camera. This was not cheap. This camera on its own was £300. So to my fellow DJI owners, do not break it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this installed quickly. You've seen me do it on my other videos, so I'm just going to quickly do this at speed, then we'll get the camera installed and we'll start putting this thing back together and we'll go from there. So this was quite an interesting repair. I think I did it over the course of about 6 months. Towards the end of it, unfortunately, I had quite heavy COVID, so actually my outro and things were not as good as they liked, and I lost some footage. So I will leave it at the end of this video just so you can see the repair complete. I did have some issues with the gimbal, so when it fired up, the gimbal sort of had a bit of a mind of its own and would not centralize, and the DJI remote was showing a gimbal error. I will link in the video description how I fixed it. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of the gimbal errors. There's nothing I could do about it. It was to do with the IMU, and DJI are the only people who can fix it. But there is some Python scripts and things you can run, and you have to link the drone to your PC to resolve it. But actually, in the grand scheme of things, it was a nice repair, and I have since sold the drone and did make a tidy little profit on it. But hopefully it's been useful to you. If it has, please leave me a comment, drop me a like. If you can subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. Anything I can do to push my videos into the YouTube algorithm is always brilliant. And yeah, I've got a few more things coming up, so hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.